Welcome, adventurers, to Probability of Demise, the podcast where critical fumbles meet critical facepalms. Join us as we delve into the darkest dungeons, slay the stupidest gremlins, and roll enough ones to make a beholder weep. Forget epic storylines and heroic deeds. Here we celebrate the chaotic beauty of bad rolls, questionable decisions, and characters with more charisma than sense. We'll be your dungeon masters of disappointment, guiding you through campaigns where the only guaranteed treasure is a mountain of laughter, and maybe some psychic scarring. So grab your Nat 1 dice, strap on your anxiety helmets, and prepare to witness the glorious train wreck that is our D&D journey. Because, in the end, even if your character dies face first into a pile of pudding, at least you'll have the dice god's permission to laugh your ass off. Welcome to Probability of Demise, where everything seems fine. I hope you're having a wonderful, beautiful, happy day, and you've liked, subscribed, put comments down, and told us how ridiculous we are. We would really appreciate your love and support. So thank you so very much. And now is the most magical time of the year.
Word of the day.
Hear ye, come, 'tis time for the word of the day. Hello again, adventurers. We are here to once again have our minds blown by the knowledge of the word of the day. I don't know why I sounded like a pastor right there, but
Oh, I was thinking you were sounding like one of those like heralds for the king. Hear ye, welcome
that's
to
where
the...
it started, and then it like transitioned into a pastor. So today we are diving right back in, and I have my wonderful D100, and you must brace yourself because today's word is a doozy. Today's word of the day, I rolled
I don't think a doozy is a word.
I think so, because I just used it. I rolled number, what did I roll? Oh, 44.
Ooh.
And the word with 44 is no. Well, hold on. This is a hard one, guys. Noblesse oblige.
Noblesse oblige? Noblesse?
No, noblesse.
Noblesse?
Like,
Noblesse.
yeah. Oblige. That's how the Webster Dictionary pronounces it.
Can you spell it?
Sorry. Spelled is Noblesse space Oblige. And it refers to the idea that people who have high social ranking or wealth should be helpful and generous to people of lower rank or to people who are poor. Used in a sentence, as the inheritor of a great fortune, he was raised to have a strong sense of noblesse oblige, not only volunteering and donating charity, but also advocating for structural change to address inequality.
This is...
There you go.
I feel like this is one of those things that I've always read in fantasy books and I have no idea how to pronounce.
I've never heard it, so I learned something today.
I read way
Well, that's
too much
why
for
I'm
this.
here, to teach you words.
Donka.
Sometimes they're good words. Some words you already know, and some words you're like, is that really a word? And I'm like, yes.
And you're like, probably.
Including no,
Yes, it is.
no, whatever that thing was that you said before that I decided wasn't a word because I wanted to be silly. Welcome back to Probability of Demise. In our last session, our friends went down to the prisons and started a riot. No, they didn't start this riot. Somebody else started this riot, but they went to find more information. They got to meet a leech, Sir Gregor, a former ally of Ulua, who has really ensconced themselves in the deep darks of the Hollow Council.
Why former?
In addition, set into motion plans to host a event where the elites of the city would be kind of compelled to come just by nature of how some of these events go, bringing in a celebrity and recluse Siren to sing songs, and as well as bring on all of their various allies that they choose to put this event on. Of course, then they went down to the prison and got to have a riot happen. The riot was not, of course, our friend's fault. Our friends would never start a riot. No. A mysterious figure is the cause of this particular kerfluffle and situation-y thingamabob. Escaping from that because they just are that good, they made their way out and performed what was necessary to gather the right crowd, which happened in the interim, and now are in the depths of planning this event. As the newsies ring out,
Hear ye! Major riot in the prisons, quelled by absurd use of magical powers.
We come to look upon Ulua, Gasundan, and Seraphina plotting and planning the big event that is to happen this evening.
A quick question. Did Sir Gregor ever actually give us the name of the siren? Or just
No,
a siren? Okay.
they did not.
Was it not Amara? No.
No. Amara's on
Anya?
the Hollow Council. Anya and
there's-
Amara are both on the Hollow Council.
Anya the Grievous is on the council, but not necessarily feeling their voice heard recently and has kind of retreated a little bit. The Siren was somebody who's mentioned to be in the Underdark and difficult to convince to do things. And I think overall you would feel like Sir Gregor took that on to make the event happen. And
I just, in case I need to introduce her, it would be nice to know what her name is. I'm actually thinking ahead for once.
very,
So
very
it's not the Silver Queen.
No, the Silver Queen is totally a different
Silver
person.
Queen has the same name as you.
Yeah.
No.
I misunderstood earlier then. From the last session.
Let's pull up that whole list because, of course, it requires me to put my password every time I try to find out information.
What's your password?
Why would anything be easy?
I now can't even say the words without laughing because I'm just distractible that way. But this is Coralia, Coralia. They have definitely not been in the public eye in quite some time. It's kind of like getting, as if Taylor Swift took a long break. What would happen when she finally reemerged? Or it's kind of like, honestly, it might be even more like when Madonna reinvented herself each time. You know, each reinvention was like a big deal. So for her to emerge from obscurity is now another opportunity for everybody to get really excited. And it's just one of those social events that compels people to come, aside from whatever shenanigans Sir Gregor and Anya were able to pull together to compel kind of the elites and leadership of Overton to come to this event. And the three of you, nobodies from nowhere, are charged with putting it all together. Well, not put it all together, but at least to to put together a plan for how to gather whatever information you're seeking and to learn more about what's going on in all of these individuals' terrible schemes. You're bringing enemies together to see what sort of conflagrations ignite.
I think
I'm just here to help.
I have ideas.
you go, and then I'll riff.
Okay, so I would like to, between me being able to make them / the ones that I might already have from previous jobs with my brother, I'd like to take any and all listening devices that I may have, or however many I can make in the time frame, to be able to disperse throughout the space. Maybe some are in flowers, some are in couch cushions. I don't know what the setup is going to be, but I'd like to bug the place and make it all very hidden so that people would have to look really, really hard to find them. So that's my first thought. My second thought is I I don't know if it's possible, so or I have the ability to do it, but I essentially want to be able to, and I also don't know if I have time, but I want to make essentially a metal detector that you have to turn in all of your weapons for, like normal, but also you walk through this like metal detector, but it turns off your powers for like your magic for like 2 hours. But no one knows. I don't know if any of that's possible. That's where my mind went.
Let's have fun here. Okay, so first off, let's start with the listening devices because very doable, very low key, very easy to pull off. A lot of these would require them to be powered by someone. So let's think about how many you want to get out there and how many folks you need to dedicate towards these tasks and where you can get them from amongst your trio of contacts. You have like the classics. Ears of the elf, just these silver earrings that are otherwise unremarkable, but they allow the listener to turn their head, look in a direction, and hear the conversation that's happening where they're looking. You could produce a couple of those, and or you already have them from what you did with your brother. You could have a greater proliferation of something like imp in a bottle. This is this idea that you have these corked bottles with imps in them that are listening in on conversations and they can report back to someone, but they're kind of unreliable. They're imps, after all.
I
There's
don't want to play a
also
game of telephone.
Yeah, well, this would be worse than telephone. This would be telephone with malicious intent. There's also singing stones that you could have put together, and those are maybe a little less quiet because they do amplify. That is their whole point. But placed strategically, you could hear conversations that are happening on one end of the room in another end of the room. There's also having an arcane hearing horn, but those are pretty observable. Like you stick it in your ear and you can hear things all over the place. Not discreet at all. Then you have whispering vines, spider spy, which are just various little mega mechanical creatures and things that you can plant, and they look like somewhat natural features. Of course, if anybody sees the spider spy, they're going to smack it and kill it. And the whispering vines, it's a plant. It can't move along with other things, so it's kind of stationary. There's some other creative things you can put together, but those are kind of like the general ideas. Which ones of those appeal to Seraphina as ones to kind of tinker with and make and or have, and which of those things are just like no-goes?
Sorry, 1 second.
Here I am just singing filler music and y'all can't even hear me.
Okay. I liked the idea of the earrings and the vines the most.
Okay.
I think I could make a couple of sets for us if I don't already have one or two. And I like the idea of the vines because maybe we could, like, if we're having couches, per se, like say we have, the ones with the back and they have like plants coming out of the back of the couches, and then we could like have the vines in with the other plants kind of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
So those are the two that stuck out with me.
Yeah, I think you could at least get 2 sets of the ears of the elf. That means 2 people could use those. And then the whispering vines, you could plant 3 or 4 of those. Just be aware that it requires somebody to control them. So they go into a concentration mode and they're not able to pay attention to their own surroundings during that time. So either you might want to bring somebody in to do the listening and as a background thing and get information from them after the party, or you would need to be able to find a place for yourself to just go and sit and not pay attention to what's going on at the party. It would put you at risk. The other thing I will say for the other option you had is like a little don't bring weapons in here, turn off magic zone. It would have to be the entire room would have to be anti-magic, just like the prison is an anti-magic space, which would then turn off all these tools as well as your own powers and abilities.
Okay.
Added to
just
that
the
is
normal
you have
metal
the
detector.
Karens who wouldn't be willing to go through this anyways and cause all sorts of trouble.
Okay. So Nick's idea 2.
Okay.
And then keep maybe idea 1, but brainstorm with the other 2 of who we would have controlling the vines if they are interested in having listenable vines.
Yeah. So if you want to, you can describe to them the limitations and possibilities, and I just pasted to you the whispering vines in our Discord. But you can describe that to Ulua and Gus and see what they would be into.
And the singing stones,
Mm-hmm.
anyone who were to walk by the area that you could hear would be able to hear the other conversations, right?
Yes.
Okay. Perfect.
I think that actually one of the things I haven't really shared with you all is this is actually one of the regular communication methods of the world at this point. It's also one of the most controversial things ever because they were and are powered by people's abilities that do not necessarily have a choice in the matter. There are people whose lives have been lost to manage the singing stones, and I was going to share that with you if you leapt on that one. But this is like human batteries. Not that they're all human, but people batteries.
Yep. Nope. I always click the wrong red app. There we go. So.
The wrong red app. What other app are you looking at?
The MTA, one of the fake MTA apps.
Oh God.
It's like, what is my
is also like
intelligence
a red.
modifier? Let's ask Netflix.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so once the 3 of us are together, so I have a couple ideas that I want to share. They're not totally fleshed out, but I want to brainstorm. So first off, I am not the best one for large groups and parties. I'm just awkward and feel like I'm going to give us away. So I don't know, maybe use me in the background. But I thought I could make 2 ears of the elves. Yeah, ears of the elves, and give to you 2. And they're like fancy earrings that when you turn your head, depending on what direction, you can hear the conversations. So that would help. I also thought I could make some fancy whispering vines that we could, lay out wherever we may need. They do have to be controlled by someone, and that all their focus has to go into that, so they'll sort of be out of commission. So we could either bring someone in to do that, or I could just sit in a closet and do it. Because I don't know if you want me at a party. That's my ideas.
I wonder. I think the side room might be advantageous. Perhaps we could frame it under the guise of an area for people to place their things, their coats, and such while they attend. And you could be the attendant for that. I think my sisters and I may be able to take care of at least, placing the vines here and there under the guise of what am I trying to say?
Decoration.
Yes, just
Floral
minor
arrangements.
decoration adjustments throughout the night. I'm happy to wear earrings. Gus, I'm not sure if that's more your style, but I don't want to presume.
Maybe I could make them, and this will also be like a GM question of, they don't necessarily have to be earrings. Maybe I could make them so it looks like a cool monocle. I don't know.
They'd have to be earrings, but they can be masculine earrings.
I can make really masculine earrings.
They could also be emasculating earrings because you're a mischievous.
I have 2 ideas for me. They're opposite of each other, so we'll have to pick one. The first idea is, and I don't love it, that we could use me as an attraction, get your portrait painted by the famous detective, and maybe make some money for our coffers that we've lost as well. Because rich people will pay for anything. Second.
That one. We don't even need to hear it.
Let him finish.
I could walk around invisible with the earrings and try to see what information I can gather. People may also talk while they're being painted, so I could, who knows, but
I
may also not want to talk in front of detectives, a known detective.
Well, I think based on the little experience I have doing this, people tend to talk more the more comfortable they are. And I think people tend to let their guard down the more comfortable people are around them. And so if painting people is going to make you uncomfortable, then I think that's probably not the best use of your skills. And I'm just
getting the hang of trees. There would be terrible paintings. I'm just going to warn you.
Oh, I like that idea.
I do enjoy the idea, but I think the simpler things are for each of us, the easier they will be to pull off. And so I would worry about Gus feeling under pressure. And as he mentioned, it's possible that people will not feel comfortable speaking about things they may not speak about under normal circumstances, but especially so in front of a detective, and a famous one at that. So I would prefer your second idea. Additionally, is there any chance that you have old friends or current friends that would be inclined to act as security for this event? I'm having less and less faith in our city watch as our adventures continue. And so having the knowledge that people do have our actual safety in mind would be a little bit more of a reassurance for me, as well as my sisters who are helping this event happen.
I feel like I've been playing Gus in sort of the vein that he does not have any friends anymore. He doesn't, maybe the friends that he has are like artists, like from around the bar that he goes to sometimes, or the art supply / bar he goes to.
That's possible.
Oh,
I
shit.
mean, you can just say that.
Yeah. Should I just like roll to see if I like know a good security firm?
Yeah, why not? I mean, you would have been exposed to all the security firms. You would know who's legit and not legit.
Or who's
whether or not you-
buy-offable and who isn't.
Yeah.
What am I rolling? History?
Yeah.
13.
You know a couple of former detectives who were legit, who got quashed out in the same way you did, and they went and established their own practices, one of which is a security firm. What that security firm may or may not provide and may or may not be useful for is a big question mark to you. You know that the originator of that firm, who has since passed because you're old.
You old as fuck.
But the firm itself continues to exist and seems to enjoy a positive reputation.
Question. Is Sir Gregor footing the bill for all of this, or are we footing the bill for all of this? Because
Sir Gregor and Anya have agreed to foot the bill for this. They have their own particular reasons for this, so don't fear cost in this particular instance, as long as it relates directly to the event.
okay. I know of potentially some security firms that should be reliable. I can't say for sure. One specifically was founded by someone I used to work with who's no longer with us, but they have a good reputation. The other I know less about.
Somebody that I used to know. Sorry.
Okay, so hiring them in, that gives you some people working the space that are hopefully...
I could also probably hook up a few artists if we need people to eavesdrop and like be waiters and things. I could maybe make that happen.
That's, I mean,
Because
I guess
what starving artist can't wait a table? Come on.
that was my second idea for Seraphina before the side room idea was to have her be a server, but again, she said she wasn't good with crowds.
I mean, I'm good with crowds. I'm just probably going to make people uncomfortable.
Actually, what I'm going to do, the guy in episode 1 that forced me to come to his house, we're going to have him doing paintings for money on site for the rich people.
Yes.
And then his friends can wait the tables and stuff. I'm going to go since he seems to like me, I'm going to go see if I can make all that happen.
Yeah.
Definitely. Just go ahead and roll a general persuasion check just to like see how engaged he is.
Could you
21.
Well, never mind.
Chicken Little. You got noodles and everything. You got the whole crew. You even convince the bartender to bring in
Ernesto
to shut down and bring in his crew, and they all.
I mean, this is probably more money than they make in that dive bar in one night.
Oh, definitely more money, and because the bill is being foot by someone else, it's actually quality food.
The food's not made of rat.
He's not a bad chef. He just doesn't have much to work with. And I would like to say, actually, let me roll for this.
Oh no, maybe it's made of rat. We'll see what the roll is.
For the there is a gamey taste to some of the dishes, but for the next 2 months, for some reason that bar just seems to have higher quality food, and you have no idea where they may have skimmed that extra from.
If anybody asks, the gamey food is exotic meat.
So I think there are two I guess maybe three major acts for the performance. One would be Oksana coming out of retirement to dance. And then the Siren would sing, hopefully, maybe. Or if not, then I would sing, I guess. So maybe 2 performances. If the Siren doesn't want to sing and would rather hear someone sing, then I will sing. So I'll let you decide. I guess I'm less. I know she doesn't like to come out, but I don't know whether or not she likes to
The
perform.
whole thing for this was that you're getting her to come out of retirement for a
Okay.
months off.
Well, I knew she liked to party. I didn't know whether she wanted to perform. Right?
Yeah.
That's the impression that I got.
You're using this party as a way to get her to come out and do a show.
Oh, okay. All right.
That was
So maybe I accompany her on the.
I think actually you're forced into it, and that's actually going to be one of the skill checks I planned to do anyways, of you trying to support a high flying performer who hasn't done it in a while, and make sure that her performance doesn't fall flat. So I was going to have a whole
I mean, I would also probably then play for Oksana as well. I would accompany her dance.
Okay, great.
Unless you could roll and see if that's not.
So
if she could have her
just so you know, that will keep you busy and keep you out of any investigations during those times.
Yeah, I mean, I envision that's at the end of the night. That's like the maybe we have
We'll see.
drinks hour and something and nosh and a social hour, and then the show kind of starts, kind of thing.
We'll see.
Okay.
See what sort of trouble you all cause. That's the plan. That's the outline.
I might need a short rest somewhere in the middle, so maybe I'll go hide in the coat room. I can do 2 invisibility spells, hide in the coat room for an hour, go do 2 more.
Nice.
I mean, we're all going to be long rested going into this, right?
Yeah, but I only have 2
Sure.
spell slots, but I can reset them on a short rest. So
Right.
All right. So, any other plotting and planning you would like to do before the show happens? I would also like to know if there's a particular venue you would choose, or are you going to leave it to Sir Gregor?
The only other thing that I would qualify is that the dress code for the occasion is for people to dress in their favorite color.
Oh, interesting.
Because if it's black tie or some sort of formal, it's possible that many people will be wearing the same color and it will be hard to differentiate.
That's super smart.
I will be wearing the purple.
What is my
Okay.
favorite color?
Can we address my question still?
Yes, sorry.
Are you all choosing the venue, or is Sir Gregor?
I mean, I guess I would relay to Sir Gregor the need for the side room / coat check, and then trust his judgment / budget.
Okay. That means I get to choose. Fools. And then I roll for something and I get a natural 20. So that kind of sucks because I should not have put Cecilia's Sundries and Sideshow Bob as the 20. That is where you're going to have the event, opening up the space and expanding it a bit, creating an experience. Sir Gregor building it out with a come and hang out in the Cragside crowds and create kind of the we're slumming it with a local sort of feel. Even though Cecilia's is actually quite a lovely space, it's being sold in this different methodology, and you all prepare in the space of Cecilia's Sundries and Seashells by the Seaside.
Celia or Celia?
I can't say the name.
Celia.
And that's why it's not black tie attire, too. You know, you're slumming it with the...
I love how that
Yeah, wear
it
your
gets pieced
best.
together. Yeah, no, and it is.
Should it be
not-
like dress like the Poors? Is that like the theme of it? Like dress like you think the Poors dress?
Oh my god.
So there's people coming with a beautiful brocaded smock that has artistically gold threaded holes
But it's a moo-moo. It's a really fancy moo-moo.
I feel like that's not the plan we made, but that's something Sir Gregor threw in there for his own amusement, that it's that the theme is dressed like the pores.
Yeah, I fully could see that this is like, I feel like it's, there was that time where the hipsters were kind of screwing with us all and they were dressing in really beat up clothes that were designer. And that's kind of the general genre and feel, except these people are so wealthy that they don't even have, it's not just designer. It's like, these are unspoken, unnamed
Custom-made.
creations.
Do you like my burlap sack? It's from Gucci.
It's not designer. It's at this point it's couture.
No one will ever know who created each of these pieces because they were all summarily executed to keep the secrets. But yes, treasures and
That's a bad thing that happened from our party, but go on.
expensive pieces that should never have seen the light of day are being treated to the most awful of treatments. Instead of covering their gorgeous tuxedo in smears of dirt, though, it's dipped in diamonds to look smudged. And this star-studded cast of folks go into the Craigside crowds to go to Celia's. And
What is the fundraiser for?
see this
It
event.
was a
Oh,
fundraiser, a charity event, right?
yeah, what are you telling everybody that this event is for? Is it to cover the cost of medical treatment for everybody exposed to the wyvern's venom?
I mean, I guess maybe
I was
if
going to
that's
say that.
I would say that or the weave-worn disease.
I feel like the weave-worn thing
research.
might still be a little bit
Or is that too
under
obvious?
wraps. Oh well, actually, okay. I think so
Like
this
we
is
could say this is
Larissa.
our response to like this event that just happened or whatever, like that this whole
So-
neighborhood was impacted.
So here's my theory, is that whichever one we decide to go with is probably who, at least isn't higher up, at least of the people we invite, is involved, because they're going to want to not put themselves as far away from it, but as benevolent as possible towards
Like who gives
it.
the biggest donation to fight the heroin epidemic is probably from a pharmaceutical company. Like that's
Mhm.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think we should go with the wyvern's venom. Wyvern? I don't know how to pronounce that. I would say wyvern.
All right, so dedicating the evening's proceedings to the wyvern's venom, you all are hosting this event, and people start to arrive. Catering staff is on the move. Seraphina, the first half hour to an hour of folks arriving is just fraught with people dropping off things, and you don't have a moment to breathe because you're basically on coat closet duty. Can I have you roll a dexterity saving throw?
Before the party starts, I cast mage armor on myself just in case that comes up.
I'm going to roll this, but also, can I, once downtime starts and the party gets going, I want to do an investigation on everyone's like coats and jackets and scarves and stuff
Okay, so actually,
as well.
you're doing this dexterity check. If you want to be able to do your other task with those vines, you're going to have to do the investigation check as it's coming in. So
Yeah, that's right.
do the dexterity saving throws first.
Okay. Well, that was good. So, hopefully 18, 19, 20, 21, 22.
Okay, it's still pretty high. You are quite able to get all of the things put away. Nothing is destroyed. Nothing is disturbed. You seem to be very efficient, and it creates already one less barrier for people who are coming. They're feeling a little bit more open and relaxed just because of the service you're providing as one of the first individuals they see. And I'm going to be running some checks here to see how suspicious folks are towards the non-guest team. That means you all as well as any of the people that are working. So this is the first one that reduces their suspicion.
Woo!
Can you reiterate what the earring does again for my brain that forgot?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I have it.
You go for it, Jess.
No.
No, you.
Okay, so they are elegant silver earrings, but if you wanted masculine, then they are big honkers of metal. Because I would have done that for you. However, they when you wear them, you can hear conversations happening when you like turn your ear to that direction.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually give those to my friend who is doing the paintings so he can listen to the people he is painting as they're like talking, whispering to each other. And then because I will be invisible, I can just like walk up to anyone that I want to. Does that make sense?
Does he? But is he on our side?
I mean, yeah, that's the whole point, was to get
People that we
friends
trust.
on the staff that are like going to report back
Okay,
to us, right?
all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I rolled my.
I just
giant
meant more
persuasion
people
check,
that
so-
couldn't be bought and would be at least like honest with us, but I wasn't
mean,
sure how many
I can't
people were
claim.
kind of
I
bringing
can't
into
say
this.
for sure that they can't be bought, but for now they're on our side.
That's valid.
Okay.
What I was gonna say, or what I did say when I was muted, was that men like big hunkers. So
Womp womp.
All right.
you love me. You love me.
I do.
I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to Rick.
I love you and your big honkers.
Oh my god.
So
You see the line? We just crossed it.
disturbing.
It's fine, like
Um,
paperwork.
Sorry, we totally derailed Rick. So yes. Jess
So I'm
was successful,
investigating.
Seraphina.
Yes, so that's what I needed you to
While
finish
I-
saying. Roll your investigation check. That we'll just do the general one.
I got a nat 20.
Pew, 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 pew.
It's this dice. It's the one of y'all gave me.
Jess has like
I'm not
solved the
putting it
case by
down
the end of the
today.
night here.
Plus
So
something.
good.
Investigation is plus 11.
Okay. Wow. That
Wow.
is
It's a 31. Holy
I know exactly
Donkulous.
who made everyone's things.
Oh my goodness.
okay. Well, let me pull up a whole honkin' list here.
Jeez, bish.
Things.
Oh.
See, I'm really good by myself, but in large groups, I am bad.
Okay. Let's see.
Next time we have to split the party, it's Seraphina that goes off by herself, I guess.
Yeah. I have to use this dice.
Okay. I'm only going to have you get access to what the leaders or one of their lackeys has. Because otherwise it would take 60,000 years with all the people. But you did nat 20, so I will give you names and whether it's a lackey or the individual themselves and what it is.
Okay.
For Arian the Skyweaver, you find kind of nestled in her pocket a shimmering feather that when you pull it out, it just seems to constantly catch the light in an iridescent rainbow.
And you said that was a feather?
Yes.
All right.
In Aeson the Stormcaller's lackey's pocket, you find a piece of obsidian that seems to be kind of like magically entangled somehow. I'm using your nat 20 to give you that much information.
Okay.
Anya the Grievous, this is one of your allies. You find a perfect teardrop emerald.
Mhm.
Bowden Iron Fist has a disconcerting find in the pocket. It's a worn leather pouch. And inside of that pouch is a small chunk of iron ore.
Why is that discerning?
Yeah.
Why is that
Disconcerting.
an issue?
An extremely wealthy person with a very worn leather pouch that just holds a chunk of iron.
Ah, okay. That makes sense now that you say it in that tone.
The first piece of iron ever mined by the Iron Fist clan.
Corvus, the trickster, you find a coin. I need you to roll a wisdom saving throw.
Oh no. 15?
You just saved. You feel something grip onto your mind for a second, and you're able to shake it free. It does make you pause for a moment as you've been investigating things, and then you're looking at Counselor Amara's cloak. Are you continuing to look through everything based on
Heck
your
yeah,
20?
I am.
Okay, you find a very well-worn book. On the cover is etched some constellations. Do you open it?
I'm gonna roll for it. I'm scared. I need a thing. There you are. Okay. 7, 2, 4, 5, 7. Yes.
I need you to roll a wisdom saving throw again. Or no, this is a intelligence saving throw.
Oh no.
All right, intelligence saving throw.
You are smart. You are smart. We love you. You are smart.
It's like she pulled out the deck of many things and opened it all.
Asher gives you bardic inspiration from the ether.
Yeah.
How much is the word of the day thing?
It's a reroll.
Reroll.
Okay. I'll take that. I will take that number. Intelligence. So, what was that? 23.
You, as you open it, you feel yourself drawn into it, and you're able to resist the pressure, and you snap it closed before it consumes your mind. You can still feel after you've closed it that there's some eldritch being lurking within this book, seeking to take you over.
And this was Counselor Mara.
Amara, yeah.
Mara.
Something she has is trying to control people's minds who open it up.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know if she's opened it or if she's trying to expose others to it.
Being it trying
That's a no good.
to control. Okay.
Are you going to look in what Counselor Varys has?
Counselor. Heck yeah, I am.
All right. You find a miniature set of scales, like a balance, carved from pearl.
Ooh.
The scales of justice.
Oh, yes.
Do you put it back or are you...
Oh, I put everything back.
Okay.
Stealing all of it.
I'll move on when you tell me what you do or don't do with anything, okay?
I take note of the book and where it was and where I'm putting it back so that I can easily grab it again.
Alara, the Weaver of
In
Whispers.
case you need to fling it into the crowd and release an eldritch horror later.
Exactly.
You find a spool, like a spool, spool of thread.
Yeah.
Did we invite Sticky Beak to our party?
But is it of thread or is it of something else?
She'll have to decide if she's going to do more with it.
Sorry, I was
'Cause
being
this
dumb
is
and
still
talking.
me-
Who had the thread?
Going through their pockets, looking at things,
Allura.
tucking them back
There's-
in.
Yeah,
Oh, Allura?
but this is still all while I'm still collecting coats
Yeah,
because I still have the rest of the night, right?
you potentially do.
Great. I don't like the
You-
potentially, but I'm gonna go with it.
Okay. Emrys, the Tinker, and this I just feel like you're going to have to decide what sort of saving throw you're going to roll because this is going to be an issue for
Jesus.
your character.
Okay.
You find in their pockets and all of their colleagues' pockets a chaotic jumble of gears, springs, and wires.
Oh no.
And some of them seem to function. This is more of a character decision about how troubling and difficult it is to avoid playing with all these things.
Okay. So I'm gonna do 1 through 10. I'm playing with it. 11 through 20. I'm not.
Just pure chance.
Yep. 18. I'm not playing with it.
Okay.
My will is strong this evening. I'm focused. I took my ADHD medicine. I'm ready to go.
As you tuck all those pieces back into their various garments, Gleam hands over their coat. And as you go to put it away, you kind of try to peek in the pockets and you catch sight of a glint of reflection of your face in the pocket. Do you choose to investigate further?
God, I feel like I'm pressing my luck, but yes.
You reach your hand in, and I need you to
And it bites my hand off.
I need you to roll a charisma saving throw.
Oh God, charisma. Fuck. Roll high, roll high, roll high.
I like
That's
this. This is a fun game.
high.
Roll in that 20. See what I do to you.
That's 11.
11.
11!
11.
Okay.
Scotland!
I will not be telling you what happened then.
Okay.
You get Sir
No, I
Gregor's.
don't like it.
Sir Gregor comes. You see their skeletal form as they come to you. They have nothing to hand to you, but yet they still reach over as if they're handing something to you, Seraphina. Do you accept whatever is being handed to you?
I give them a very strange look. And I present my hand to take said article. Like it's a game or something, maybe? And I'm like, I'll play along. Okay, sure.
Secret
Who
handshake.
am I to judge someone for turning in invisible make-believe cloaks?
Imagine the cool slickness of a just peeled mushroom cap. You know how it's slightly tacky with a subtle
Oh,
give under your touch? You can smell a subtle metallic tang to the air, similar to like blood in your mouth after you bite your lip. And then if you think about like a raw chicken breast, it's cool, it's damp, it's got a slightly spongy quality, it's texture uneven, fine, almost grainy texture. And as you go to put it away, whatever this thing is that you can't see, but you can smell and feel, you hear it. And as it comes away from your hand, you're left with the after feeling of like the underside of a just cut apple. Smooth, waxy,
Okay, that I can hand. Okay, that I
slightly
can hand.
firm.
I feel like we just got handed an invisible flesh cloak or something.
Your
I
hand
did, I
smells
feel like I did.
of that coppery taste that is now stuck in your nostrils.
Gross.
Do you try to investigate this?
Nope, I don't. Nope. Mm-mm. I stay away from that. I push it all the way to the other side of the coat rack. Don't go near it.
With your hand inside someone else's coat. Like,
Yep.
Whose coat? Whose coat do you use to shove it away?
I'm gonna use storm collars.
Great. The last person to arrive that is amongst the more prestigious of the folks that are here is Seraphina. They don't hand you anything, but their hangers-on do. They're all wearing masks, but they hand you their cloaks. And you can see that each of them have been tailored to appear like the blue tattooed children of the Cragside crowds. The same iridescent tattoos appear on their skin. It looks like it's been freshly done. But these are adults.
oh, I get it, because they're dressing like the pores.
And as they hand you their cloaks, the tattoos glow even gray and shimmer even more brightly. And as you take those cloaks and put them away, you pull your hand free and your hand is glowing with that same blue, luminous quality.
I just want to reach out. I imagine it's like, you know, those like double doors where one can open and the bottom can open. So just the
Dutch
top's
door.
open. Yeah, and I just lean out and I'm just like, no, thank you. No, thank you. Like pointing to the neon thing, like they can change it. I don't know if they do anything, but that's what Seraphina does. Just no, thank you.
Seraphina, the Silver Queen, doesn't even look towards you, but you see one of the folks look at you for a moment and then roll their eyes and just follow after their patron.
Ah, dang. Oh man, just look at my hand.
You will have disadvantage on any secretive sort of shenanigans you try to get up to from here on out,
Great.
because your hands are literally glowing until
Yeah.
you're able to clean this stuff off.
Yeah, great. That's great.
I feel like between that and this visible spooky cloak, you should just go wash your hands.
I was thinking of that.
Cool.
If I'm ever released for a bathroom break, I go and wash my hands.
Does anyone have any magical hand sanitizer?
While Seraphina
I feel nasty.
cleans herself up and refreshes herself, leaving unprotected the coat closet.
No,
You
I
all-
wouldn't leave.
Well,
I
then you
only
can't
leave
clean off
if
your
I was
hands.
released. Then that's fine.
Okay, you're stuck there.
I can cover the
Okay.
coat closet. I'm not doing anything
No,
yet.
you're
I'm just
busy.
waiting. I'm just waiting to be invisible.
Oh,
later.
you're not.
You're
These people have all
already-
arrived. They're in the space. They're wandering around having conversations. I was just doing a quick catch up of all the ridiculousness that Seraphina got involved into because she nat
Okay.
20'd. Ulua and Gus. People have arrived. It is crowded. Celia's seems to have been expanded somehow, though. An extra expense to create more space in what would be a cozy location.
Is it bigger on the inside?
It has been made bigger temporarily on the inside.
I
There-
cast TARDIS.
There are, given the theme of everything, there have been additions to the decorations. You do have the plants that can be added, but sorry, I just need to type up some notes.
No, it's fine.
All these losers showing up to a party on time.
So, if I may make a suggestion, since we did end up having the location be Celia's, and based on the layout that I described before, where the tables, the communal tables, are perpendicular to the bar, maybe we could use the vines as a form of table decoration that runs down the middle, of each
Sure.
table?
The space has been transformed by this spell, though. It has created a much larger space. And the walls have been hung with these tapestries that are blatantly out of sorts with the theme. Clearly, the person who was putting these up thought that poor people's places looked like fairly well-to-do people's places, so there was some of that. There are a lot of these folks rely on magical lighting to create the sense of it not being a well-to-do space. They have created magical lighting that pretends to be fire. So there are a lot of false flames around, and kind of like an art designer who doesn't actually know how candles work, there's just some flames floating about. Cecilia's is generally a really well taken care of place, Ulua, and you know this. And it doesn't take much for you to quickly spot some fake cracks on the walls that are clearly illusions.
Just to make it seem like it's worse off than it is. Nice.
The tablecloths that have been placed everywhere. Again, the illusion is quite easy for any of you to break through. The illusion looks like they've been stained with various colors, but it's not like the colors of actual staining of time and wear and water, which would create a more yellowed look, maybe a couple of beer, ale, wine stains on them. No, it's the colors of the rainbow staining all of these different pieces. And the food, which looks like rustic bread, is actually a gold-dusted brioche. And the stew, you smell it and you go, that meat is not, it's not rat meat, but that is also just not meat. That is something totally different. And those people pouring drinks, every pour looks like it's just water, but the scent that is coming from it is anything but water. Ulua, you are providing some music for the venue. At this stage of everybody arriving, are you playing anything?
I mean, I would be playing kind of general ambiance music.
Okay, so
Perhaps. Go ahead.
I would love you to tell me what feeling you're trying to evoke in those people who are attending.
Think of like when people do piano covers of contemporary music. So where it's like, easy listening piano, but it's Adele or, things like that. Maybe that you would like hear in the salon where there's no words, but you recognize the song as a song that would have words. I would like to do some of the more like colloquial songs that you would hear people playing at Celia's, but bump up the elegance factor. So it's like a really, really pretty kind of instrumental arrangement of what would be considered like a shanty or like a...
And what's the intended emotional impact of your music right now?
To expose the upper echelon to humble beginnings, but in a way that's palatable to them. Does that make sense?
Okay. Roll a performance check.
Do I have any sort of advantage since I'm using my proficient instrument?
Nope. Not in this case.
That's
Nope.
okay. Are you still feeling nice to me? No, you're not. All right. Performance check, you said, right?
Yeah.
That's a 9 total.
I think that, like any art, your
Objective.
you're doing something that's maybe too complicated for some, but interesting for others. And you gather a crowd that is kind of really focused on listening to your music, and they're trying to interpret it through the most inane artistic lens. You sound great, but just where their brains were at or whatnot, they are trying to make much more of what you're doing and providing a critique to impress each other, not in reaction to your music. And everything they're saying as you hear it, and even as like occasionally Oksana or somebody else from your crew of friends who walks by will just listen in for a second, and you can see the eye rolls as they turn their heads away. You don't see their eyes roll, but you know that they're rolling their eyes as they turn away, because some of the things that are being said just don't make any sense. You do not decrease their level of guardedness with this skill check, but you don't cause any damage with it either. You're not increasing their level of guardedness. You're just having to put up with a bunch of doofuses in this first run of that. Gus, as people are arriving and doing such, what are you up to, if anything?
Naked, so nobody can see my clothes running around. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm invisible. I'm walking around.
The idea that Gus might think he has to be naked to be invisible just is really disturbing.
Also not true, because I've already used this spell once. But,
yes.
No, I would like to stop briefly and listen to the ridiculous critiques of her music, and then try not to laugh in an audible way. And then I'm gonna go just kind of wandering around. Let's pick a random. I'm gonna go hang out by the trickster for a little bit.
Okay, yeah, you wander around, and I think both of you are picking up some conversations. You hear like the inane random garbage, kind of over near the cracked wall. You hear a couple of individuals like lower on the echelon. Oh dear, this draught is frightfully lukewarm. Perhaps a second warming charm. And then somebody else fiddling magically with their drink. Just the conversation over there is seemingly pretty inspiring. You do hear something that piques your interest. Indeed, my lord, although in my experience, the commoners wouldn't be caught dead with unicorn stew. And somebody else is saying something, and there's a general conversation. Oh, Esmeralda, haven't you noticed the perfectly good enchanted cushions underfoot? And you're walking around, you're like, there is no enchanted cushions. Just these.
I will say the only thing I probably did take off is my shoes. I'm probably barefoot so that I'm quiet, so people don't hear me walking around, even though it's probably too loud, but just in case.
Yeah, the conversational piece is just kind of keeping everything going. And you draw closer to, who was it you said you were going to talk to or try to be around? I mean, not talk to.
Corvus the trickster.
Okay. You see that Corvus is currently standing with Alara.
Okay.
And Alara, as you're standing there, was just saying, indeed, they're trying so hard to understand, but their attempts are clumsy. What are you trying to you're just listening in on the conversation back and forth?
Yep. I'm just trying to get nuggets of info.
Yeah, there's a lot of people around them. Two of the most secretive individuals of the whole group, and probably the most guarded, as people who are very much involved in secrets. I mean, Corvus got totally strange and is totally not a trustable, like, just too mercurial a being. But Alara definitely is known as a spy, and you can see that guard is up around her.
Okay. Yeah, I'll try to get as close to them as I can, and if I can't get any closer, I'll just oh shit. How about the Silver Queen? What's she up to?
You go up to the Silver Queen, and they are not engaging with others. But it's almost like there's you don't even approach that close at first. There's almost a big, huge circle gap around them. Folks come up within like 20 feet, kind of give the Silver Queen a quick bow or a nod, and those she returns the bow or the nod to turn away smiling, and those she doesn't seem to walk away quite quickly and with a little bit of fear.
Okay. What
Do
about
you approach any closer to them?
I feel like the circle makes me nervous. Like I feel like I'm going to be seen if I walk into the circle. If there's like a specific distance that people are staying away, I feel like it might be a spell or something. I'll risk it. I'm going to try to just like take a few steps closer.
What is the intelligence save for your invisibility, if any? There might not be, I don't know.
There's not one.
Okay. You're able to get past the first kind of like round of her courtiers without any issue. And you catch some things that are being said amongst them. You catch little whispers of this and that, talking about bringing order and making fun of individuals that have been turned away. There's a couple that say a couple things about there being tough decisions to come, and that sort of thing. And as you grow closer, could you roll a perception check?
13.
Okay. I think you don't catch it at first, but there's a flicker on the Silver Queen's face. She kind of glances around the room, and then she, as you approach even closer, she mutters under her breath, "I am aware of your presence." Do you want to die?
I'm just gonna be like, no. And then I'm just gonna like walk away.
You walk away, and as you move further and further away, you hear in your head, "Cowardice and bravery mixed like that? Who do you work for?"
I'm gonna say
Myself.
Is this a message? So I have.
It is
Sending.
sending, not a sending. It is a
Or
message. It's the cantrip.
she can't see me, right? So she can't send me that, or she can see me.
She can see you, is what this tells you, because whatever it is with that magic, she can see your illusions, or this illusion. So either she has a trinket of some sort that lets her see those who are invisible, or she has the spell that she's used. More likely, based on what you know about magic, a trinket of some sort lets her see invisible things.
Okay. And we are. What is our goal here exactly? Like, what are we trying to find out? Because I'm trying to figure out how to answer this.
From what I understood, you were all trying to figure out where to focus your efforts in these investigations and get a sharper focus on what you're doing to figure out what's going on with Grand.
Okay, I'm just gonna say there are. Like, whispering. I'll like scoot over in a corner and whisper real quiet. Like, there are some things happening in the city, and there seems to be a central person behind all of it, and I'm just trying to figure out who it is. I don't work for anyone.
An independent operator. Perhaps you would like a patron.
I've recently been informed that I sort of have one, but what did you have in mind?
The tone is very confused. It comes back to you. And you get a message that is torn loyalties. I don't think this might work for me, and I'm feeling the need to reveal you, except maybe you can get the snakes out of the garden as well. Nothing like chasing the cat out into the pile of serpents.
I don't suppose you have any information you'd like to share about who might be behind the wyvern's venom at the temple, or...
Ah, perfect. I need you to roll a intelligence saving throw.
are smart. SMRT. That is an 11.
11.
Wait. I have an inspiration. Try again. I'm trying you today. Let's try you.
Do you want to?
That is a 19. God, that dice is hard to read. It's like the liquid core one.
Oh yeah, those are pretty, but they are hard to. Yeah. You feel this moment where you're being manipulated, and just as you fear you're going to go over to the precipice into acceding to whatever is being asked of you, you're able to shake it off. A little bit of a green light explodes in your own head. The shimmer of gold protecting you for a moment. And you are able to shake off the manipulation. Waste of time. And you can feel the attention shift off of you.
I will not go that way again. I'm just going to go to somebody else. I don't know if you want to jump to somebody else for a little bit. I can keep
if you want to think about what you want to do. Yeah. Ulua, you have come to the place where your set may be ending, but is there anything you're trying to find out while you're there? You do have a crowd around you.
I mean, perhaps.
Are you playing any specific songs to try to provoke anything, or?
I mean, if I have a specific crowd around me, then I will probably switch to more songs that would be preferred by the classier palette. So, or like equatable to like people who only enjoy classical music because they think like that's what snooty people enjoy, kind of thing. Does that make sense?
Roll a persuasion check.
Man. 13.
When you switch gears, the crew that was articulating their feelings about your music, they just seem to fade away. They wanted something to pick at, and they've just lost that opportunity. It's something that's part of their background in their world, so they're flowing away from you. And things seem to just in general settle. There's no more specific focus on you and your music. You have truly become background music to the setting. Kind of an invisibility of sorts. Is there anything in addition you're trying to do?
I guess surreptitiously, since I'm wearing the earrings, kind of pretending I'm swaying with the music, but I'm more like slowly Like pretending that I'm into the music, but I'm trying to aim my head in ways that I could maybe catch snippets and then take a peek at who's saying them. So to mark I could maybe try messaging. I don't know how I would message Gus, but
You could just whisper while you're playing, while holding a little piece of copper. But you would have to figure out where he's at.
If you
Yeah.
can't
that's
see
what I
me.
mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I mean.
But is there any people in particular that you would be kind of targeting with your, as you're turning and looking at different folks? Otherwise, I'm gonna have you do a more general check.
Is there anybody that I'm particularly surprised actually decided to show up?
Not really.
Okay.
Sir Gregor really got everybody to show. I mean, there's some like meh folks that are there as well. There's some people who have nobility but no actual power. Not that
Okay.
nobility is truly a thing, but there are those who have some sort of sense of false.
Like legacy kind of.
Superiority.
Yeah, these are folks who, they might claim some relationship to the Timeless Trio in their lineage, and they've made a big deal of it and convinced people that they're of value in some way. They could be people who just had some money at some point. There's a lot of just, it's shenanigans and ridiculousness, no actual power, but maybe they do have some ability to use that presumptive history to get things that things just come easier for them. At a quick look, you can see that next to the buffet, of course, there's two viscounts who are talking about the bread as you turn your head that way, saying things like, "Ooh, this is quite bready."
Wow. Stimulating conversation.
It's really exciting, but otherwise, it's the main crew of those wealthy and powerful. If you would like to do a general perception check, I can have you do that. And if you roll really, really high, you'll see some things. And if you roll really, really low, you may not see anything.
Okay. Because my rolls are going so well.
Roll a high roll. You've built up enough credit. You should get high rolls now.
Perception?
Yeah.
12.
Yeah, you're kind of just right at this stage of the event, just getting these generic little conversations. You actually catch one of Gus's people that he recruited in from the artist community, and talking to one of the nobles, saying, "Oh, indeed, my lord. Although in my experience, commoners wouldn't be caught," and just like having a little side conversation there, whatnot. And with that, let's end phase 1.
Okay.
And we'll switch to phase 2 with the dance of Oksana. Do you want to set the stage for what's happening? And does anybody
Can I
have
ask a
anything they
question
would
first?
do as that transitions? Yeah.
Did Edelman not show up?
Edelman's there.
Oh, okay.
Edelman
I
is.
definitely would have tried to like overhear what Edelman was talking about at some point. I didn't
Okay.
realize that he had come.
You can do that in the second stage if you would like to. And that's where we're at, the second stage. So, Ulua, do you want to describe what happens with Oksana and yourself, or do you want me to
Yeah, I think that
set the stage?
there would be a little bit of like a dimming of the lights, whatever, because
All those little flames get a little bit smaller.
but then the ones closer to the stage kind of stay more lit, so it's kind of drawing everyone's attention. And then it would be very much like a top spotlight, but just a solo spotlight, so that it's kind of more of her silhouette. And then to just kind of be dramatic, and then she just starts to dance. And at this point, I have to remove myself from any listening or anything. My focus is entirely on.
Okay, so then I will like
Because of her.
you to roll a performance check with advantage since your whole focus is there and you're not simultaneously paying attention to other things during this round.
Right.
While she dances, I would like to go stand near Edelman. Like,
And
if
this is
lights
a
go down,
performance, you
it's less
said?
obvious.
Yeah, performance check.
Unnatural 20.
You further lower the guard of those who are here. People are drawn in and paying attention to what's happening. The conversations also shift from a little bit less, and this is going to support Gus and Seraphina. Seraphina, I'm guessing you're switching over to listening in on the thorny things mode, if you would like to.
I would have wanted to do something before that, but then yeah.
Okay, then you'll have to do the before that thing as part of this round, just for
Okay.
mechanics wise.
That's fine.
Drinks are being poured more liberally and strategically by the support folks. All
By
right,
the
so
squad.
by the squad, by your team of supporters. As you put on the dance, you can see people who may have gotten a little, like even the Silver Queen, people kind of like lower their guard just a tiny bit, becoming a little bit more calm. And the overall effect of this as is a kind of like a temporary break from any tension, and folks begin, even as the music is playing and the dance is going on, to have more natural conversations. Gus, you went over to Edelman. As you go over to Edelman, you can roll a perception check, please.
Damn it. 10.
Training the elven ears on Edelman. He's not talking, but his attention's not on the dance. His eyes seem to be tracking somebody who is currently shadowing Emerus the Tinker.
Okay. Shadow. X.
They seem to be part of Emery's entourage. So that you're able to catch that.
Is Edelman eating anything?
No, they are not eating anything at this moment. They do have a glass in their hand. It seems to be empty.
Okay, I just had an idea.
Okay.
I'm gonna go get one of the waiters, like in the back or something, where I can talk safely, like doing hors d'oeuvres. And I'm gonna break open the fortune cookie, take out the fortune, stuff it inside the hors d'oeuvre, and try to get him to try to get Edelman to eat it.
Cool.
It's my whole goal now with this fortune cookie, just getting other people to eat fortunes and see what happens.
Great. So,
Maybe we'll wait till the dancing is done and stuff. Like, wait
so
till, like,
I think
when everybody's,
during
like, the
this
chillest.
round,
Yeah.
to make this happen, it really has to be, this round is you prepping that after what you've
Okay.
discovered so far. It'll have to happen in the next round, I think. Seraphina, it's your turn for what's happening in this round.
Great. So I wanted to cast 2 different spell slots of identify, and I wanted to identify the book that Amara had, and the sorry to be against this. And then the coin. I think I want to do the coin that Corvus had.
Okay. The book's name is the... Okay, this is super hard for me to do because it's a made-up thing. It's the Ishag Yogothoth. And the guttural sounds that are in your head as you cast this on it to inspect it and to understand it kind of evoke this alien nature and an incomprehensibility. And I need you to roll an intelligence saving throw again.
Dang it. No, baby. Yeah, baby. What the hell is that? Okay, 17 plus. I think it's something really good. But I don't want to assume and then make an ass of myself. Oh, it's okay. So 26.
26.
You said intelligence, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You have this moment where all of the information in your brain just stops making sense. Everything is just disturbing and confusing. And then you suddenly don't feel like you can think for a moment. And as you have that moment, you just have this future in front of you that's just nihilistic and full of despair. And then at the same time, you understand everything. The universe makes sense to you. You know the answers to everything. And you struggle against this because to know everything would be to no longer exist. You resist. And all the answers to the universe disappear from your mind. And you block it all out. But you now have the temptation to touch the book once again because the clarity was so real. You could know it all. Even the unknowable would be knowable to you if only you would pick it up and read.
Mm-hmm.
Good saving throw.
Thanks.
I need you to now put down 2 marks somewhere
Okay.
to track.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And
Save from the book 27 times and you're fine.
and you need to write down sanity.
Jesus.
Inspired by fish. Sanity checks.
Oh no, not that. This is more of a how many checks do you got left before you can't even save for it.
Okay.
Okay. You did that one, and you're going to cast Identify on the other thing, which was the coin.
Coin. Yep.
The coin of charm. It's a simple coin that would cause you to feel the need to, if you had been entranced by it, do as the owner of the coin asked. You can tell that it is currently bound to someone and you can't take control of it.
Mm.
And that if you did become mesmerized the first time by it, you would become... It's a trap, really. It's a trap for people rifling through people's stuff. But you would become bound to them as their slave.
Mm-hmm.
You saved on that one too before, so I was really sad.
By the time Coach Check
Yep.
is done, Seraphina's going to be like a crazy
I'm
slave
so
of-
tired.
Kochek is done.
In that case, I'm trying to
working coach
decide.
can be quite exhausting in general.
True.
Very
IRL.
true. The only other thing was I was debating if I wanted to figure out that weird reflection. But Imris... Imris isn't on our side, right? Like, we don't know Imris, we haven't talked to this person.
The only people that we know are on our side are Anya and Sir Gregor.
Okay, that's what I thought. It was a glint of my reflection. No, I'm gonna hold off, and I'm gonna now focus on the vines. Those were the two things I wanted to look at.
Okay. Given the time that you spent to look at these two different things, you can only use one of the vines right now. You'll have to save future use of the vines for later. You haven't been looking in the room, so you don't really know who's where. I think we just use random chance to see who you get to spy on. Does that make sense? Okay, since that makes sense to you, roll a d4.
1.
Oh, no.
There's no, it's just a choice-making thing.
I know,
just
I feel like 1 is never good.
you can't see anything, but you can hear. And you hear conversations that kind of ebb and flow during the time that you're listening, but the main thrust of the conversation is a little bit about the dance and, oh, wow, we should really bring them back up. You know, both the musician and the dancer are quite good. We could probably convince them to just stay in our citadel. Yeah, well, I hear that they've been part of the reason why the rabble got all upset and why we don't have those like them in our palaces permanently. They want autonomy, the ability to do for themselves, so they may not be worth our time. Oh, well, in that case, I'm even more curious. Let's talk about this further at another time. It's your funeral. And that conversation fades out a little bit. And as that conversation fades out and the dance and music come to a close for this session, the last thing you hear, Seraphina, is we'll kill them all. And as that occurs, the music comes to an end, and stepping out, bowing to Oksana and to Ulua, is the Siren. You see this towering form that you all got a chance to kind of meet, but they were cloaked. It was a different situation, but this is a large person. Their skin, as it's revealed in the light that's currently here, is glistening fish scales, and you can see leathery wings that don't seem to actually be able to do anything like fly. And as they open their mouths, and it is truly mouths, you hear this enchanting voice and voices. Some are cooing and creating an accompaniment, and some are actually just a cacophony of other sounds, but it's like an entire orchestral pit from one being as the siren begins their song. I would like all three of you, because you can all hear this, to roll a charisma saving throw.
Oh dear, okay.
17.
You saved.
We have a sweet ass charisma bonus, or I'd have been in trouble.
Ooh.
9.
You did not save.
Also 17.
you saved. Seraphina, you are being drawn out of the coat closet. Gus and Ulua, you quickly catch on that this is more than just music that is going to occur here. This is super powerful, and you, in the quickest of moments, avert your gaze from the siren as she begins, or they, or it, begin their music. You make out additional light coming from the stage, and you can see that many in the audience, their gaze is captivated. Others have shielded their eyes and are looking away, but they're still there listening and enjoying the music. And it is a beautiful sound. It's strange, it's creepy, it's exciting. It's not replicable by any other creature. And you both, having made your saves at the height you've made them, see Seraphina coming from the coat closet area, walking towards and coming to a place where she might catch sight visibly or visually of the siren. Do you do anything to try to prevent that?
I'm just going to go over and stand by Seraphina just in case. But I won't stop her.
Ulua?
I'm playing, so I can't really
Okay.
do much. I'm just watching intently, I guess, in like a hold action kind of way if she tries to do anything, I guess. But like, or to embarrass
I got a new
herself.
girl crush. Or person crush.
Creature
or
crush?
Day crush.
I
or
got a
creature
fish crush.
Seraphina, as the only person in the party who is looking at this being, you see
The only one?
the only of Gus, Ulua, and yourself.
Oh.
There are other people who are
like,
definitely
dang.
looking.
I'm the only one at the party who failed the check.
I will give you this information. You see this captivating visual, this bobbing bioluminescent object hovering over the stage, flickering, moving, bobbing, weaving. If you've watched Finding Nemo recently, oh dear audience member, and you remember the bioluminescence of the deep dock, it's a wicked dock down there, of the fish that has that, what is that called? The trigger?
Anglerfish.
Anglerfish. Of the anglerfish, that's what's happening here. Seraphina, you have one last chance. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay, maybe. Because I rolled a 15, 16, 17, and then plus 1. Wait, 15, 16, 17, 18? Huh?
You just made it. And you have this momentary thing where you can feel your emotions that you have pulled from you as if you're feeding your feelings to this creature. But you're able to recognize and block whatever's happening. And as you do that, you snap out of the trap you were in, which was really truly a chorus of nightmares in some ways. And you're able to witness, along with Gus and Ulua, how the siren takes everyone's emotions and weaves it into their song. And here in this space, you all watch as some of the leading members of society have been exposed, and you get to hear that Bowden's Iron Fist is actually totally afraid of what's coming next. You experience the feelings of the Stormcaller and how they don't think that they're adequate to do what they need to do anymore. You also understand that Sir Gregor fears his death more than anything. And think they saved.
That feels like an easy one for pretty much any lich. Like, fearing their death more than anything.
Odin Corvus. That Amara is in over her head with her own machinations. And as you get this revelation of their emotional state through this, you can see that they don't have any awareness of what's going on. You can see many of the other hangers-ons and their various feelings and such, but this is very exposing for all of the people here. And you can see Gus and Ulua, maybe a little bit less, that the Silver Queen's grin is just growing. And as her grin continues to grow, I would love for you to tell me if there's anybody you're looking to see their expressions and to see what sort of reaction people are having to seeing their enemies exposed in this way.
I'm looking at Edelman.
Edelman's gaze is riveted on that same follower of Amiris still.
Okay. Since he's not talking or anything and Seraphina seems okay, I'm going to walk over to the follower. I want to get a better look at them.
Yeah, you get a little bit closer. Can you roll an intelligence saving throw?
Holy natural 20 this week. Jeez.
People are crazy. You get closer, and you can see the illusion that they are cloaked in ripple and weave. You can't seem to pierce it. You can't see past it, but you can see that they are under some sort of illusion. And it's just subtle enough that whatever's beneath is still obscured, and there may actually be physical disguise as well, but they are not who they appear to be. You doubt that Amara or any of the other people that this person is following is actually a true member of the entourage, but this person got here under false pretenses somehow.
Okay, I'm going to take some steps back and like a safe distance, 10 feet, 15 feet away, and then just point my finger and like whisper at them. Who are you really?
Ah, my prey. I see you too. Don't worry. You're safe for now.
This isn't the same voice that was in our heads outside the prison, right?
It's the exact same voice.
I'm going to message Ulua. Like, she's here. She's right there. Right by, was it Amara?
Yeah.
Right next to Amara. She's here. The voice from the prison. I will also message something similar to Seraphina. Be like, the voice from the prison, she's here.
Instead of replying to the message, I just kind of bob my head as if it would be in time with the music in acknowledgement.
I say back. Oh my god, who?
The voice from the prison that was in our heads.
I meant which person?
Oh, she's over by Amara in the dark cloak and shadow. Then I'm going to message back to the bad guy, bad woman, bad person. What are you doing here?
Stirring the pot. They'll all fall down.
I'm gonna message the Silver Queen and be like, the shadowy person by Amara is not who they seem to be.
You get a message back from them, and it's interesting because you can feel like there's a little bit of like little shadow. There are so many here who are not as they seem. I've already counted 6 other invisible people here. Who do you mean?
I'm gonna give like a better description of whatever they're wearing or whatever, and just be like,
Why so many
this is the
invisible
person.
people?
This is the person who caused the prison riot.
Oh, minor inconvenience. Hardly affects me. Do as you do, little whatever you are.
I kind of want to just attack her, but I don't. I don't think it's a good idea in this setting.
Excitement abounds. I almost can't wait.
So the siren's still singing?
Yes, their song is starting to wrap up. If you want it, if you're done making decisions for a moment, because I do have a transition to the next thing.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep watching this person, I guess, and see what they do. I'm gonna hold an Eldritch Blast just in case they're gonna do some shit. Like
You're on full guard mode, is what you're saying.
Yeah. If they like start to like try to stab someone or like do something really, really sketch, I'm just gonna Eldritch Blast them.
Okay, but your attention is on them. Mm-hmm. You're listening into what they're doing. Awesome.
Yep.
Question. When someone replies to a message, they have to whisper it out loud, right?
Yeah, but it can be super.
But would I have caught any
Unheard.
of that with my earrings?
If you're pointing at the right person, yes.
I mean, I'm still doing the head sway. Would you like a chance?
You can go ahead and roll a percentile die, D100, see what happens. There was a chance for that before too, but you kind of rolled a little low, so it kind of sucked.
It's an 80.
I think you kind of catch bits and pieces, but it's not clear where they're coming from. I mean, you're. That's the struggle I'm having right now, Ulua, is because you're doing the music and trying to catch things, and if you're not directing it at somebody, I have a harder time giving you specifics, right?
Okay. I mean,
It's a
I
hard
think
throw.
after he would have said she's here, I would have been listening for her voice. So if that helps kind of give a...
Well, if you just keep it directed on her, then you can get her. But if you're moving around and changing where you're pointing, then you're going to get...
I mean, I told you where she was, so if you're going to stop swinging your head,
No,
then
you
can...
said she's here.
I said she's here. She's next to Amara, the shadowy figure next to Amara. I told that to both of you.
You gave
Okay,
description.
So I thought you only said that to Seraphina. Okay. Well, then I would have at least kind of leaned my head that way. So I guess I would have caught that. Yes or no?
Yeah. As you do that, you catch some different whispers. I think this, to wrap up this phase of the social event, you don't necessarily see who she's talking to, and it's definitely that feminine voice that they're portraying. Stop it. That they're portraying, but you do catch a couple of things that are said. Have you seen the new golden carriage the Baron just bought himself? You toil for scraps, they line their pockets. And then to another individual, you hear, history is written by the victors. It's time to write a new narrative, reclaim our power. And then you catch a couple of other things that they say. I'll just be more brief about this. Somebody is being told that promotions and titles are being dangled in front of them, but the true power is beyond their reach. They're being encouraged to join a revolution. Then there's another one that says, true faith lies in questioning, not blindly following. Do you truly believe these self-proclaimed holy men are chosen by a higher power? And then the last thing that they say is to someone else as the siren song ends, a new dawn is coming. Together we can build a world where everyone has a say, not just the privileged few. With each of these statements, you can see that they are just very transparently, no insight check needed. They are saying things to some other people here to specifically stir things up. And each thing that they've said has been in the whisper of a message being sent.
I want to step. I said I moved about 10 feet away, so I'm going to make sure I'm within 10 feet of her, and then I want to use my Fey Presence, which is once per short rest as an action, you can cause each creature in a 10-foot cube from you to make a wisdom saving throw of 15 or become charmed or frightened by you until the end of your next turn.
They failed.
I would like to charm her.
They failed.
Yay. I'd like to charm her and then just like...
She views you as an ally right now.
And then I'm going to message her again and be like, what are you really doing here?
Destroying the city.
Why would you want to do that?
They've caused me and mine all the horrors that it's time for it to end.
The city's not the same as the Ascended or the overprivileged.
They get to make another throw right now. They just nat 20'd and you can feel them snap out of your charm. Ooh, clever, but I'm not just after those on top. I want the whole thing to burn. And as they say that, you did have your Eldritch Blast prepared, so if you would like to, as you feel magic become stronger, they are teleporting away, and you can feel that that's what's happening in this moment, is that they're about to leave the space.
I'm not going to attack them for leaving. I'll let them go. Unless you're going to do something.
Well, I was gonna essentially kind of like also do a hold action of hold person if I saw them like go to hurt anybody, but I don't know if I would be able to tell if they're going to teleport if there's like a hand gesture or like they go to move. If they just manage to teleport without like giving any sort of indication, then I would say no.
Let me double check their specific ability to go and no, there's no visible component to this.
Okay. All right.
And they're
then I would have no way to know, so.
As she goes, I'm just going to message and be like, catch you later.
Oh my god.
Keep getting the last word in. Gonna piss her off someday.
And I'll message both of them to let them know she's gone.
Okay. As she leaves, you can see that I think it was Amara. Who is it that got confused in the midst of all this? Yes. Amara stumbles a bit as they leave. And you can also see that, what's his face?
Edelman.
Edelman. Sorry, I was like, Elrond. Where did that come from? You can see that Edelman is also gone.
I'm going to drop my invisibility and go over to Amara and be like, are you all right?
Sorry. Something was... who are you?
My name is Gush, and I am a friend of the party host.
Oh, well, I feel a bit fuzzy. I knew I was coming to this, and...
There was someone near you, standing just here, who...
One of my retainers, undoubtedly. Where are...
No. She was pretending to be one of your retainers. She may have influenced you somehow.
I also will say, just to FYI for Gus, the Siren also had influenced her.
Okay.
So it's messy here.
Like double charmed or something.
Yeah, definitely. She's rolling like garbage when I did my pre-rolls.
Like, maybe you should
the weakest link.
Sit down.
Yeah. You're roll a persuasion check, but I think you can easily beat this. Yeah, probably.
Or can I? Oh wait, that's an 11.
11.
11.
Yeah, actually, it's so influenceable right now.
I mean, technically, she was in the range of my charm thing if she was standing next to her. So if she didn't beat the 15, I might have her charmed.
She definitely didn't beat that. She's actually charmed. Yeah. Holy crap.
Probably all her retainers would have to roll too if they're all standing right by.
Yeah, I did a general one for them just as a thing, and they were all like everybody in that area. Nobody pushed you away or sent you away. It was actually very impressive that you got the illusionist as well. But you have a whole group of people who view you as an ally right now. Including Amara, who you could ask questions of, convince to do things, get information from. So I think now that we go into the last round of the event, as people are enjoying their last snacks and stuff, and Seraphina, you can continue to eavesdrop on folks. Ulua, you are now free of the musical duties and more able to mingle if you would like. Or talk to the Siren.
I'm going to look at Seraphina and message her and say, who's watching the coat room?
I go, oh no! And I run to the coat room. Like out loud. I don't do it like in my head.
What's funny is like people didn't hear the important part of it. They just see the coat check girl suddenly scream, "Oh no," and run back. So there's like a whole bunch of people just going, "What?" and not really certain of what's happened. And there's honestly, I can't imagine a way in which somebody would intuit that she left the coat room unguarded from that. So things stand as they are, but whether or not one of those other six invisible individuals may have snuck back there or not is something you don't know, or somebody else snuck back there. But yeah, it's. I just love this picture of the socially awkward person drawn out of the coat room, forced into the public, shaking themselves loose and go, "Oh no!" and running back.
Choice.
Gus, you have a crew around you. Ulua, you have access to the space. Seraphina, you've run back into the coat room. Somebody choose that they want to be firsties for this next round of social encounters.
Can you tell me, do you know the name of the person who caused the prison riot by chance?
Amara just looks confused, but then one of the of her entourage steps up. Nobody's discovered the details. There was someone apparently snuck in. And while the prison isn't impenetrable, it is unusual for someone to sneak into a prison.
Well, I happened to be there visiting someone, and I heard that, the voice of the person who was impersonating a retainer here, it was the same voice those of us at the prison heard. So that person here was trying to manipulate Amara. So
I didn't hear anything from the news announcers about there being witnesses. Those in the interview rooms where the murder occurred and the riot started, they're all dead.
Yes, we didn't stay. We left when we heard the alarm.
Oh, so you weren't there where it occurred. You don't know the details of what's happened?
Sure, yes.
Just this individual. Huh. Well.
Anyway, this person who was possibly behind that was also trying to manipulate Mara here, so just be careful.
Oh dear. Well, we'll have to figure out what to do.
Also, I've been hearing interesting things about a resurgence of wyverns. What do you know about that, anybody? That sounds bad, huh?
You see a very clear glance between two of the entourage. Not Amara herself. Amara definitely seems very out of sorts. And, what do you know about this? Are you part of the supply chain?
Well, I was until the temple was shut down. What a hassle, am I right?
Well, I don't appreciate being called an asshole, but...
I said hassle. Well, you know.
Oh, a hassle. You do have... Well,
Sorry, it's just my Underdark accent. I can't help it.
I understand it's we had to shut down operations. Product is still in there, but we had to just seal it. I don't even know why we started that whole program. It wasn't worth it. We weren't making anything.
Did seem to make a lot of people sick. Doesn't really seem worth it now, does it?
Can see them kind of like shaking something off. No, it didn't. Why would we do that? And we ruined our reputation.
Yeah, that's a shame. Because the temple, the Ascended Temples have such a stellar reputation among the city otherwise.
Yes, I agree. They do. You're quite... Yeah.
Yeah.
How long does your charm last? Because they keep losing horribly.
I don't know that
forever. Are they just your best buddy now?
Apparently. Till the end of your next turn. So I guess or whatever that is, or I guess it's only 3 seconds, huh?
It's probably getting expended. Let's just say it's expending right now. I'm just disagreeing.
I'd be like, before, as I feel it wearing off, I'd be like, well, it's been nice talking to you.
Yeah. And then you hear another one.
Keep an eye on that product in the temple, and have a lovely day. And then I'm just going to walk behind something, cast invisibility again, and just walk away.
Just as it's fading in its last surge of whatever it is, you hear one of them say, "Oh, should we tell them to go check into the Undercroft? That's where we kept meeting for those things." And you can kind of hear the conversation stop as they stumble over their words and realize what they were saying.
Okay, checked out. All right. Yeah. So I'm that spell slot. I'm invisible again. Someone else, feel free to go.
Well, since
More vines for me, but Larissa can go.
Okay, Larissa, do you want to go
Probably
first, or do you want?
Sure, yeah. Nobody else has left besides the mysterious person.
The siren
right?
song has ended, and I'm kind of saying that Gus's side conversation is happening simultaneously with whatever you're doing, whatever Seraphina is going to be doing. This is that next round of the social event.
But is it the end of the night?
It will be the last round unless you find a way to extend it, because the entertainment is over. And
Okay.
this is kind of like the social wrap up.
Okay. I guess then maybe I would go on the stage and at that point try to get everyone's attention to maybe make a speech kind of thing, like thanking everyone for coming, and I can act that
Contributing
out.
to the Wyvern's venom and stuff like that.
Yeah. So if you want, I can paraphrase about what I would say. 'Cause
Well,
I would,
first, why don't you do a
be-
performance check, and then you can create what you're going to say based on how you feel like your performance check went.
Okay. All right. Okay. So that will be a 17.
That's decently
fine.
high, so yeah, you're having an eloquent speech. Please
Okay.
regale us.
I hate this part.
It's okay, regardless of how you actually say it in
Yeah.
real life. It's elegant.
Okay.
Friends, Romans.
Friends, acquaintances, philanthropists. I thank you all for taking time out of what I know are very busy schedules to both honor and provide charitable contributions to those within our wonderful city that have been plagued by this newest epidemic of and resurgence of what we have come to know as wyvern venom. And at that point, I kind of keep an eye out for anybody either reacting or not react, like anybody acting out of in any way, like where reacting. Yeah, anybody reacting, I guess. In a way that seems like they're scoffing, or maybe they're like overly like, oh, of course, yes, that kind of thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You want me to roll a perception check for that?
Insight check.
Oh, inside. Okay. That's cocked. Ooh! Insight. 25.
The general.
Should've said perception. It was, I have a less modifier for that.
No, it wouldn't have been the right roll though.
I'm just.
You notice that the whole group is generally like very much like the mood, even if they're faking it, is that they're projecting a support for the cause.
Benevolence.
We got to have the face for this. You can clearly make out that the two of the people that Gus has engaged in conversation or did engage in conversation before disappearing again were and are very uncomfortable. I think you could, especially with the 25, it's guilt.
Okay.
Which ones were those? I'm sorry.
Those were two of the entourage for Amara. Amara, who's a council person, not necessarily an ascended person, but her entourage does include two ascended individuals. And Gus will probably update you later about that, but
and I would say my greatest thanks to both my mentor Oksana for taking a brief respite out of retirement to share her wonderful gifts with us, and my enduring gratitude to Coralia for blessing us with such a stunning and I can't think of another word. Enlightening performance. And I gesture to her and hope that, and then like start to clap, and hopefully the crowd will also start to do that.
there's clapping and a little bit of cheering. Oksana stands up as you are wrapping that up, and Coralia also stands up for a moment, and they both bow. And you hear somebody in the crowds, and you think that it's probably Sir Gregor, shout out, please make your checks out to the fund for Wyvern Venom recovery and addiction counseling. Various things going on. And then the party generally comes to a close. Sorry, Seraphina, but we need to end this session. As we end this session, thank you very much for joining us. I hope you had a lovely time with us, and we hope to hear from you again. Like, subscribe, and all the other things on all the platforms that ever existed. Maybe listen to us twice.
If you don't, you will make that puppy very sad.
If you want to make a
look at
puppy
that puppy.
sad,
Don't make this puppy sad.
And if you're
Look
just
at
listening
this.
to us, imagine your favorite puppy ever being sad.
making puppy eyes at you and sniffing the microphone and licking it. Thank you very much.
Yawn.
Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye.